We gave up 8 plays for 300 yards. That's disappointing. That'd be it. I think, disappointing, but also slightly encouraging. Is that we did fix a lot of problems. I would say in the box in the front seven, front seven that we've had. So some things got fixed, and we played good defense at some points, in some positions. Just not nearly consistent enough. And then when you give up 8 plays for 300 yards, like just not winning football on defense, it's not going to happen. There are things to build upon, but also those 8 plays for the most part are inexcusable and things that we have to get fixed.
This is 2 weeks in a row talking to Manny outside. He's bringing up communication. You were bringing it up last week. What are you guys altering right now in terms of approach during the week that helps that on Saturday, or is there something you can do?
We're continuing. Every week we try and find some new add-on to try and fix those issues. There are some things that we're doing within the positions, the defensive back positions in particular. That's where it's coming from. We're doing some things in practice in particular to try and fix those. And now we've been doing some things in practice, and then we are continuing to make every single play on the field like it's in a game, to where they have to communicate amongst themselves and not have, let's say, a coach out there communicating to them. And now there's a fine line between coaching at practice and letting them play, and we're finding that. But there's also ways, I think, that we have found, just trying to make it more exactly like game day. Because we're doing some things in practice, we're just not taking them to the game. So continuing to make things harder in practice like it is in the game, so that hopefully we can see some of that carried over.
What makes TJ Nunley such an effective pass rusher?
Effort. Desire, effort. He plays hard. He rushes very hard. You go watch his rush. I don't know that there's a pass rush move in there other than he's going extremely hard. And he's had on that play at least 4 other guys rushing the passer that were also rushing hard. So he got to be, he beat the tackle and then beat the running back and got to the quarterback. He plays with a high motor. I think he's starting to have a little more confidence in his game, and he's continuing to grow.
You talk about communication, and now you're 5 games in. That's what is maybe so frustrating is by now this should be second nature to a degree.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's growing pains. It's just we got to continue to work at it. It's not going to do us any good to sit here and obviously we have to bring it up in here, but I'm talking about amongst each other. Just continue to harp on shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? We got to harp on how are we going to fix it going forward. And I think we're doing that amongst each other. I think the players are taking more ownership of it amongst each other. But yeah, is it frustrating? Yeah. Yes, it is. But obviously there are things that we need to continue to push for, continue to improve in our approach and how we get things done.
Just the dynamic of Charles and Manny. Had a ton of tackles the other day.
Yeah.
Obviously they played with each other before, but it seems like you're getting what you wanted out of those 2 as a unit, right?
Yeah, and you add Alex Sanford into that group too, because I thought he stepped up and did exactly what we expect out of him. But I think they've taken ownership in that position, taken ownership in being a good football player and what it requires, and they're doing the work. And it's been a build up, but they now are starting to understand exactly what it requires, and not only doing that, but even more. And the more they do that, the more success they'll see. They need to be more leaders, though. Right? It can't just be them 2, them 3. We need everybody.
Coach, how much were some of Saturday's issues in the back end the result of not having Tony Grimes?
We'd love to have everybody, but I got belief in all of our players. you know, I'd love to have Tony out there, and yeah, would it help? Maybe, maybe not. I couldn't really tell you that because I got belief in everybody, and I got belief that everybody can communicate. That issue, you know, I think it's, you know, kind of looking in the mirror and you know, you hear somebody say something to you and that you got to do something and how important something is, and maybe you don't fully grasp it, don't fully grasp it, and then it gets put on display for everyone to see. And sometimes it takes that to them to really kind of dig deep and look at themselves and kind of say, okay, not only does coach want me to change, but I want to change.
Manny said out there that the communication begins with him, it sounds like. He's the guy that wears the microphone.
Yep.
Communicates to the line. I imagine he communicates to the back end. I mean, and then his responsibility of each guy at their own level and to communicate it to their fellow teammates at that level?
Yeah, we have a lot of ways that the play calls are getting put in the game. So yes, Manny has the green dot on and he is listening to me call the play every play. And then give him a few pointers here and there on what to tell people, what to say. But it's getting communicated at many different levels. You don't need Manny Powell, per se, to know what the play is out there. And from that point, it comes with talking, it's just talking to each other, right? And because, you know, a lot of times everybody may not, on the start, as soon as they get the play call, they may not all have the same thing in mind, right? I may be a safety and I may not really understand what's going on, and I may say something wrong in the corner, but he's gonna look at me and say, no, we're doing this, right? And then everybody gets on the same page. It becomes really easy to do that, and mistakes don't get made that way. So it's as simple as communicating between each other, but also like understanding that you need each other, right? Without each other, we're nothing. So until they fully grasp that they all need each other on every single snap, you know, that's where you'll start to understand how important communication is. And I think, pray, we're getting there.
Minnesota's offense, kind of give us the skinny on what you see then, what you expect.
Yeah, they got a young quarterback, but he's talented. Drake Lindsey, big guy. He runs the offense well. They got a big offensive line. They got a few receivers that can really run, and Drake throws a really good post route. I've been watching him since he was in high school down there in Fayetteville, happened to cross paths at the same time. Him and Manny Powell happened to be high school teammates. You know, he's a talented kid. He's a smart kid, and he makes a lot of checks. He kills a lot of plays. He gets them into looks they want to get into. And then they got a boatload of tight ends that they use. They'll put 2, 3, 4 out there. And then they got talented backs in the backfield. And the running back's been back. He came back last week. They got weapons all over the place. Starts with the quarterback and the running back. But they're big up front. They can run the ball and they can play action and throw it deep if they need to. And then the tight ends are really good at sitting in windows and zone coverage underneath. So I got to take care of all that.
Any other questions?
Crew Wakely didn't play Saturday. He wasn't on the injury report. Was he available to play, and would someone with his experience be any assistance with some of these communication issues you're talking about?
Yeah, I think he was out there on some special teams. Yeah, it's just, you know, we play how we practice. And, you know, we play how we practice, and crew's continuing to grow in practice and get better. And, you know, I think, yeah. So we gotta just keep continuing to grow in practice. We gotta, from everybody, we gotta take what we see in practice, and that's what we do on game day.
Anything else for Coach Scherer? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Mike.